Karis here. Can you hear those birds singing? Wait till you see where I am. Check it out. Look. And see there? That's my sister walking the labyrinth that we have discovered during a little road trip we took. I mean, tomorrow is Easter Sunday. A star was last weekend, the spring equinox, and in about a month is Beltane. And is this not like Easter heaven and springtime perfection, beauty, paradise on earth? I love these moments, like right now when you know it is, when you just know that you're in heaven, that you're in paradise. Oh, here comes Michael. Here's a funny thing that happened. I wanted to just quickly tell you about the labyrinth walk. I would recommend that you go find yourself a labyrinth, and if you have enough space, build one. You just build it out of rocks. That one's made out of rocks. Look at her feet. They're just rocks. And I've lived in places before where I built a labyrinth out of sticks. Just measure from the center point and measure to each center point of each stick as you're laying them around. It makes great circles, and then you can go through and divide them up the way that you need to. As you're building a labyrinth, when you make the circles, you can feel the energy whooshing around in the circle until you separate them and make a pathway for them to go on. Anyway, so while we were walking the labyrinth, I went in first because she'd never walked a labyrinth before, so hopefully she'll come over and I can ask her how it was. She's going around hanging out with some of the trees over there right now. Oh, two things I want to tell you, that's right. And first, I was a couple turns ahead of her, so we were walking it, and as you know, if you've walked a labyrinth, there are times where you either walk side by side with someone, one or two levels over or more, or where you pass right by them and you kind of can make eye contact and greet each other and go, because labyrinths symbolize inner journeys and microcosmic journeys, macrocosmic, the entire life journey. You go into the middle on all these winding paths, and then you get into the middle, and then you come back out on the same winding path going the other way. And so one of the times when we passed each other, we made eye contact and smiled, and then she looked down and bent over, and I saw that there was a fortune, like a little Chinese fortune cookie fortune, there on the bottom of the labyrinth. I mean, this is outside. There's no litter. There's nothing here. It's just a Chinese fortune sitting there. I have before found Chinese fortunes hiking in the woods after rain. Just no fortune cookie wrapper, no fortune cookie, just the fortune sitting there. So I know it's always a message, and I'm going to ask her what it was. Hopefully she comes over. Anyway. And so I was super curious, and I asked her with my eyes, but she didn't tell me. She just left it. And so on the way out, right before I got to that turn, it's a big labyrinth, so it's made after the famous one in France. And it took probably about 20 minutes to walk, maybe a half hour to walk, because I did it slowly and with purpose. And I thought of it again on the way out, and I thought, oh, maybe I've missed it. And then I realized, no, it's about a turn ahead. So I thought about it just in time. And I got to the turn and looked down, and there was no fortune there. And she had put it right down. Again, I saw her. And yeah, I have no idea what that was all about, but I'm so curious about what it said. Anyway, ooh, it looks like she's getting in the tree. Ah, okay. Anyway, then I was walking more, and the sun was coming out. It was getting warmer. It was kind of a chilly morning here. I'm in mid-Cali right now, and I looked up on one of the trees surrounding the labyrinth, and it looked as if there was an Om symbol, not carved into the tree, but in relief out of the tree. And I looked closer after a few more steps, and I realized it was just a way that the knot hole, a trick. There was a knot hole and a scar from the knot hole and a trick of the light being played, but it looked exactly like an Om symbol. So I figured, oh, this is the universe telling me to make an Om sound internally, so I did. And then it was as if I intuitively just got the idea, and I've done this before, but I hadn't thought about it in a really long time, to add in more tones and make this harmony inside of me that my cells were singing to, and I felt this big healing go through my body, lots of great chills and things like that. Hey, Michael, come here. I want to ask you a question for the video. Here she comes. Check out these blossoms. Do you know what kind of trees these are? Are these cherry trees? Apples, maybe? It's some type of orchard that we're in. Super magical. Is this not like Easter postcard amazingness? So I want to ask you a question, and then I'll turn the camera off, but what was on that Chinese fortune that you found? Because it wasn't there when I walked out. I wanted to look and see it, and it was not there. It was just for you. It was hiding from me. What did it say?
You'll continue to take chances and be glad you did.
And your tarot readings have been telling you, don't worry about logic.
They have.
So, was it an answer to something that you were wondering, I guess, or not really? Were you thinking about anything at the time that matched up with it? You were just clear? What'd you think of your first Labyrinth walk?
I was a little dizzy afterwards.
It's good. Pineal gland activation, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Good. Did you like it?
Yeah.
It's interesting, huh? It's a simple thing, and yet it does something to you, I think. During the walk, there was a Om symbol on one of the trees. I was just telling the folks that it was as if someone had carved it, but it was in relief rather than being carved in. And then I did a couple more steps and saw that it was just a pattern of the bark that happened to kind of, and it didn't kind of sort of look like an Om symbol. It was an Om symbol. And then later I saw it again when it had gone, and then I was back again, saw it again. So very magical area. Let's give everybody else another view. Anything else you want to say? Anything to share for the video? No? All right. When in doubt, oh, there's a butterfly. I don't think they'll be able to see it because it's past these trees. Guys, go outside. Celebrate spring. It only comes for very short periods. Spring is beautiful because then all the flowers will go and we'll be in the heat and life of summer. So don't miss it. All right, go in peace. Talk to you again very soon.